So, we will come back, we will basically continuing the discussion on transformation based strategies, and as I said, this transformation based strategies, functional group based strategies and static material based strategies are similar. So, we will try to overlap all the three strategies together, and we are basically continuing the transformation based strategies, but some of the strategies I mean the transformation based strategies will be also overlapped with static material as well as the next problem, which is basically I am initially trying to draw the target molecule is a dihydroxy based cyclopentanone. This is the target molecule. I have not given the stereochemistry here. This hydroxy can be up, can be down, but eventually that is not our main concern here. So, the target molecule was given to you, the starting material I have not given, okay. Starting material was not given. So, as I am discussing about the transformation based strategies, normally we try to avoid to give the starting material, fine. Now, eventually if you try to do a disconnection for this molecule, we will do a disconnection something like this, and let us we will try to figure it out. I am putting two negative charge here by doing a disconnection something like here, by doing a disconnection something like here, and then you say that if you have a compound something like this as a intermediate, as a CH2 plus and a CH2 plus, means that if you are having a positive charge at both the end, it can be connected to this double negative charge species, and the main thing is you have to think about some species which will give you a doubly charged negative carbonyl compound. This species we will be covering in detail when you talk about synthetic equivalents. Synthetic equivalents are basically nothing, they are basically charged species, imaginary species which is in reality may not exist, but you have to think about that those species are where the charge have been given, and in reality we all know that carbon negative charge seems to be the polarity has been reversed, and these species are normally named as Ampolong species, where the usual charge on carbon seems to be positive, it has been reversed. It is called Ampolong as the Greek name or reverse polarity. We will try to explore how this kind of species will give you a suitable disconnection. As I said, this kind of species you in reality you will not get it. So, you have to think about some chemical compound which will yield you this compound of this species. This 1,3-dithiene of formaldehyde. So, if you take a molecule of formaldehyde, formaldehyde is what? Is a this compound. Now, react with 1,3-dithiene which is a thiol compound. The aldehydes will react and will give a 1,3-dithiene species. Now, 1,3-dithiene has a unique property. If you take this 1,3-dithiene and react with base, these hydrogens are extremely acidic. You react with base, 2 equivalent, and normally that will basically give you a double anion here. Later on we will say that this kind of species are named as 2D1 species. D1, D stands for donor, and 2 means this is a doubly donor, and 1 stands for 1 carbon. This is basically 1 carbon unit, 1 carbon. So, based on this retro, you can think about the left hand side will be this one coming from 1,3-dithiene. Now, coming to the right hand side, if you have a compound something like this, X stands for iodo or bromo or even chloro, means that this CH2Cl, any alkyl halide, you can potentially write it like RCH2 plus and X minus. So, means that this iodo species are potentially viewed as a electrophile and this is a nucleophile. Now, why these free alcohols have been protected? Because sometimes you need to do a protection group chemistry, because alcohols are normally not very good functional group to keep as intact based on the reagent conditions like acidic condition or basic conditions, they may not stable. So, we have to have a starting material something like this. We will now figure it out how these starting materials can be prepared. So, if you have a compound like this, you can do a both the alcohols you can convert to corresponding iodo, and now do a again retro. This retro is basically based on functional group interconversion, where both the iodo has been converted to corresponding iodo, both the alcohols. And now this retro is a, if you have a diester, you can do a functional group interconversion through normal reduction like lithium aluminum hydride. And now you will see that this starting material is basically a simplified starting material, which is a very cheap starting material named as tartaric acid, which is commercially available and very cheap starting material, raw feedstock. So, if you now try to do the forward synthesis, we start with tartaric acid. Let us say we start with tartaric acid. First, these are the ester acid groups. So, do a esterification reaction, double esterification, and that will give you CO2 ET, CO2 ET, and you have a free alcohols. The free alcohols need to be protected. If it is possible, you can do a protection in a single step for both the alcohols. Yeah, this is the possible. You treat the compound with acetone. Now, acetone will react to the free alcohols, will give a compound named as acetonite. This is basically a ketol formation. So, your ester part remains same. Now, you convert it to LH, the corresponding diol. So, you will basically get these things. Now, our situation demands that both the free alcohols you need to convert to corresponding iodo. Now, that you can do it by several ways. I can initially doing it a multi-step way. You convert the corresponding alcohol to corresponding tosylate by reaction with tosyl chloride, and you need a base like triethylamine. So, what you will get? You get a ditosylate, OTS. What is TS? TS basically stands for this is the tosyl chloride, paramethyl sulfonyl chloride. So, your OH attacks here and give you OTS. Now, OTS is good leaving group, as you know. So, now treat this OTS with sodium iodide excess, will give it to you the corresponding diiodo species. This diiodo species now basically acting as a double electrophile. Now, you react with your 1,3-dithiene. You can do a stepwise reaction, because you need to react with two electrophiles subject to base first, one equivalent. So, it will be abstract one of the hydrogen here to give you a carbonyl. Now, one of this iodo will attack here. Next step, you will replace another hydrogen by another equivalent of base, react with another iodo. So, finally, if you treat with 2 equivalent of base, as I said 2 equivalent of base, and treat these things with this iodo, what will get? You basically get this part will remain same, get this compound. Now, you need to remove this diethyne, which is normally done with Hg2 plus a mercury treatment, and then you will get back to your original ketone, which is required, and finally you remove this hydroxy protection by treating with aqueous acidic workup. You will get the target molecule with this free OH. So, if you see the entire transformation is basically based on a Ampolong alkylation. Now, I said Ampolong is a reverse polarity. We will be discussing this Ampolong in detail when we talk about synthetic equivalents. Now, see the entire forward pathway. Start with tartaric acid, we will first do the double esterification in this free acid, then you react these acids or esters with lithium aluminum hydride, and eventually the free alcohols need to be protected as acetonite. You are here, then you do a double displacement OH2 tosylate followed by sodium iodide treatment, give the diiodo. Now, you can directly do a one step transformation from alcohol to iodo. This transformation, if you are not familiar, is fine, but you can directly do the like this kind of reactions. You can transfer directly a alcohol to a corresponding iodo or any halide species by a reaction named as Appel reaction. Now, Appel reaction, if you are not familiar, is fine. If you are familiar, this is also okay. Now, if you are not familiar, go to the Scene Archive website to exactly know what is the reagent condition, but eventually we will be discussing it. And once you make this double iodo, you react with this 1,3-diethyne of formaldehyde stepwise, that 2 hydrogens need to be abstracted, you generate the doubly charged species and react with this double electrophile to get you the final product, and then basically you need to protect this thiol protectant group. Now, eventually this is a nice demonstration of transformation based approach as well as functional group based approach. And now, if I give you the starting material as a tartaric acid, this whole strategy can be a combination of transformation based approach, functional group based approach as well as starting material based approach. That is what I said, both the 3 approaches, the initial 3 approaches, transformation, functional group and starting material, can be combined in a single operation. That is why we will be discussing all these 3 strategies together. Let us talk about a very simple target molecule. The target molecule is having this structure, is a spirocycle compound, Now, this spirocycle, for the sake of simplicity here, we are discussing transformation based approach is fine, but for your better understanding I have given you the starting material also. I said you have to make this molecule starting from a cyclohexanone. So, this is your target molecule and your starting material. As I said, all the 3 transformation based strategy and functional group based and starting material based can be combined together. Let us see how it works. So, initial target was this one. Now, if you see this molecule having alpha beta unsaturated ketone part here. So, we will do a retro here, and then we will see that if a simple functional group interconversion will give you this particular compound. So, if you have a aldehyde, you can do a intramolecular aldol here, aldol dehydration. So, basically the transformation is aldol. So, this is the transformation we are talking about, fine. And then you basically need to make this compound. This compound you can make by numerous ways, but one of the ways I will be trying to give it to you. If you have something like this, we said is basically a okay, these structures will be wrong, actually the aldehyde should be here, is a spirocyclic compound. So, aldehyde should be here. Okay. Now, next disconnection, what you said, if you having a some species which is a CHO minus, CHO minus just now we talked about is Ampolong species, is a D1 species. D1 species means it can donate, and it is a 1 means stands for a single carbon. Now, if you have a alpha beta unsaturated ketone which is Michael acceptor, and remember last discussion, if you have a species something like this, you can do a Michael directly here to come to this compound. There are other ways also you can do it, but fine, this is a simple one. And then this starting material you have to correlate with a, it comes from a cyclohexanone which is the starting material given to you. Now, cyclohexanone you have to make a this kind of compound. It is a very straightforward, you can do it by a simple aldol reaction also you can do. You can take a acetone, do a aldol here, but eventually that pathway might lead you some mixture of compounds, because acetone can undergo self aldol reaction, something like that. But if you do a other pathways, or if you can follow other pathways, there are better ways. So, take a starting material the cyclohexanone, and then if you react to it something like this, I said you do a Wittig reaction, you do a Wittig reaction. Now, this Wittig ylite can essentially be generated from a monobromoacetone, and triphenyl phosphine will give you this Wittig ylite. So, this Wittig transformation you can do starting from this starting material. Now, let us go back to the forward synthesis. To start with the cyclohexanone, react with this Wittig ylite. So, this is the Wittig transformation which you must be aware of. So, this Wittig transformation will now give it to a the alpha beta unsaturated things. This is a Michael acceptor. Now, we will be reacting this 1,3-dithiene species, where you picked up one hydrogen and generate a carbon ion. Ampolong. Now, it will basically attack here, and then you remove this 1,3-dithiene. So, then you will get and a CHO. Now, basically what will give? Next is your aldol transformation, simple aldol, and then you will be coming to the final product. There is another way you can do it. Let us see, you are having a cyclohexanone, you have already converted this to the corresponding compound, the same compound. I said you have to introduce a aldehyde here. What we will do? We will try to do a vinyl magnesium bromide reaction in presence of copper to make it 1,4. You see this compound undergoing this particular reaction, and will give you a vinyl thing here, Now, what you need to do? You need to convert this vinyl to aldehyde, which is we already discussed, you can do it by ozonolysis or oxidative cleavage, any of the oxidative cleavage. So, then you will be here and you will be aldehyde. So, same compound can be electrosynthetically disconnected by two different ways, even you can think about many other ways. Now, there are two routes, as I said, the route 1 where you can do a Ampolong nucleophilic addition to introduce the aldehyde which is required for the aldol reaction. You can also do a vinyl Grignard addition in a 1,4 fashion, then you can do a oxidative cleavage. So, both the ways are quite possible, and depending, as I said, depending on the resources. If your lab having vinyl Grignard, you can do this one. If your lab is having Ampolong, so proper resources at proper time is essential, and you need to take care of those aspects when you design a pathway. You see that what are the chemicals available in your lab, then you design the pathway. So, both the pathways are quite useful and will give you the target molecule through a aldol dehydration, you get the target molecule. So, now if you go back to the entire pathway, it is basically a combination of a transformation based approach, a starting material based approach, as well as functional group based approach. That is why we are discussing 3 pathways in a combinative fashion. Transformation means you are having a Wittig kind of reaction, you are having a Michael based reaction. Starting material, the cyclohexanone was given to you. So, now you design based on the starting material, what are the reactions available to cyclohexanone to reach to the target molecule. And then functional group, as I said, functional group means if you are having alpha beta unsaturated ketone which is very familiar for Michael type of a reaction. So, in that way you can basically choose your appropriate pathway. So, transformation, starting material, functional group, all are in action here. So, that basically gives you a nice demonstration that how a suitable target can be retrosynthetically disconnected to give you the simplified starting materials. From the simplified starting materials you can now design your overall pathway. The next reaction is a single transformation based approach, but let us give the target. I said target molecule is something like this. Starting material was available to you, I have given the starting material, and I said this is a single transformation based approach. It is a transformation based approach. It is a one step reaction. So, normally a one step reaction. Now, until and unless you are quite familiar with this transformation, it is difficult. The transformation what we will be now targeting is named as Shapiro reaction, the Shapiro reaction. Now, Shapiro reaction is a very useful reaction, and if you see the original reaction of Shapiro reaction, you see the Shapiro reaction it was based on a ketone which is having alpha hydrogen, and it was reacted with tosyl hydrazine in presence of a excess base, either butyl lithium or methyl lithium. And the initial intermediate which have been generated, which is not isolated, is a vinylic anion, So, the disconnection based on Shapiro transformation, always think about you can generate a vinylic anion. Now, our retro demands that if you have a starting material something like this is a ketone, okay, and having alpha hydrogens here, okay. That is why this alpha site we have blocked intentionally. Then you subject to this Shapiro reaction. Now, Shapiro reaction mechanism, as I said, you can go through it, or in the study material you will be finding it. Now, see the disconnection will be giving you a vinylic anion here. So, you have vinylic anion. Now, what you need to do? You just need to react with some electrophile. So, what are the electrophiles? Electrophile demands that you need a CHO plus electrophile, means a electrophile should be a CHO plus, it is a normal polarity, it is not Ampolong polarity. So, this species can be coming from a DMF or dimethyl formamide. So, what you do? You put this reaction here and normal reaction of a carbonyl compound NMe2 will go off, and then you basically get a this CHO. So, this completes the synthesis and it is based on a single transformation which is very useful, is named as Shapiro reaction. So, Shapiro reaction, if I now give a retrosynthetically disconnection of Shapiro reaction, you can say that Shapiro reaction normally will give you a vinylic anion, and this vinylic anion can be quenched with suitable electrophile based on you. So, the final pathway is something like this. So, any possible intermediate or any possible target, if it is having this kind of structure, you can disconnect like this. E stands for electrophile. Let us having a similar kind of problem. I said I want to make you these compounds, okay. And so, you do a Shapiro reaction by taking the same starting material, the cyclohexanone based compound, where one side alpha hydrogens are absent. So, subject it to tosyl hydrazine, butyl lithium excess, that will give you the vinylic species, and then the electrophile you can quench with it carbon dioxide, that will basically give you the final product CO2H. So, Shapiro reaction is a potentially very useful reaction, and please I am referring all of you to go to the Scene Archive website, which was given to you in the last couple of weeks back. The lecture I have talked about Scene Archive website. You can access it, the website, you can go to the website and you can check the mechanism of Shapiro reaction. Shapiro reaction will be very useful for making this kind of compounds. Even other compounds, like if you have you need to make a vinylic bromide. So, what you do? You take this starting material, okay, react with tosyl hydrazine, butyl lithium. Now, what you need? You need a bromine as a electrophile, okay. So, you can just react with simple molecular bromine, and then finally, you can end it up with a vinylic bromide. So, Shapiro reaction basically gives you a vinylic functionalization when you have a ketone adjacent to some alpha hydrogens, definitely. Otherwise, if you have both the alpha hydrogens are free, then you have a regiochemical issues. So, normally Shapiro reaction is a very good disconnection of this kind of compounds, and you will find the Shapiro reaction was one of the potentially important reaction. Based on the Shapiro reaction, many problems have been framed out in the GATE exam as well as NET exam. So, Shapiro reaction is a potentially very useful reaction, and we will be finding the Shapiro reaction is a very useful reaction. So, okay, we will try to give you more examples for transformation based approach in the subsequent weeks, and so please go to the Scene Archive website, try to get a glimpse of Shapiro reaction and what exactly it tells, and then Shapiro reaction based retrosynthetic problems will be giving you in the assignments. Then you can solve those assignments and you can find it out how useful the Shapiro reaction could be. So, we will see you in the next week. Till then, goodbye.